Today we are going to make Mr. Potato Head cookies. Let me show you how. After Halloween, I got this little kit of cookie cutters, and it's actually for like a jack-o'-lantern, but I thought it would be fun to do as Mr. Potato Head. You can make your own pattern if you don't happen to find cookie cutters like this, just with paper and cut around it. It might take a little bit longer, but it's still a fun idea. Anyway, take them and carefully take them out of the cookie cutters so you don't distort it or break them, especially on those small details, and then bake them up, being careful they don't burn. For ears, I took the little eyeballs, cut them in half, and then there wasn't really a nose piece, so I made a couple of different noses, like a round one and different shapes. And then of course, just make a blob for a potato, and I took my cutters just to make sure that, you know, it could hold a few different things so it was the right size to bake up. Now for the dough, I actually tried 4 different mixes, but these are the 2 that I really do recommend. It is homemade, one with baking powder, one without baking powder. I prefer the non-baking powder, and you'll see why. I also tried Pillsbury, which is horrible, and I even tried like a peanut butter because I figured it wouldn't spread as much, but they still just were so distorted and don't taste good, guys. So don't take the shortcut. You can see that kind of more puffy is the one with the baking powder, and more concrete and flat is the one without baking powder. So one thing I decided to do is take some dye and color one. I wasn't super happy with the result on this. Maybe if I had just watered it down more, and of course I'm using vanilla. You don't want to actually use water, but mix it in with vanilla so you have the alcohol. You can also just do like peanut butter cookies, so you have that contrast in color, so it's more potato-like. Anyway, on to frosting. So I'm using icing, royal icing, and I'm linking down below a bunch of the resources I'm using and the recipes and that kind of stuff. But this is a flood consistency, so it's smooth enough that it all kind of pools together, but not too crazy that it's going to drip off. And I use just a little toothpick to smooth it out. I give it a little shake at the end to make sure it all lays flat, and then let it set for, I don't know, at least a couple of hours. I let them sit overnight to make sure they were good and firm, because the next step, you don't want them to get dented and messed up. So I'm doing all of the little pieces. I think maybe a couple of the noses I didn't do just because they didn't really need to be, but show you that next step in a moment. Now, once these are all dried off, you can either paint them, which is kind of a fun project like if you're doing with kids, or you can use these food writer markers. So it's just food dye, totally safe, and go to town with decorating these. I thought it would be fun to do a few different sets of eyes. Made me think of Toy Story. Pack an extra set of eyes, your angry eyes, just in case you need them. And I thought it would be fun. Some are a little more feminine, some are a little more masculine. And of course, there's my angry eyes. So when all is said and done, here is my collection. You can do any variety you'd like, but I wanted to have some fun with a lot of good items. And just to give you an idea of the fun you can have, you can turn an angry woman into a mischievous man, or maybe kind of more of an eccentric silly man to a businessman. You know, just have fun with it. The cool dude right there. Anyway, one other idea that you could do if you don't want to do the markers or if you want to go more detailed, I guess, I did different colors of icing and that way, but you're going to be doing lots of different colors, lots of extra time instead of just doing it all with white and then coloring on top. But you know, if you want to go super detailed, be my guest. I think for kids it's more fun because they can actually color on the ones that are just white. You can also take and make like these little eyeballs just out of royal frosting for decorations if you don't have like the cookie cutter kits. So that's an option as well, just on some parchment paper, let them dry, and then you can attach them to the cookies. That's probably the most user-friendly without having cookie cutters. Either way, I took some of my royal icing and cemented on. This was a self-portrait and just had some fun putting it together, and they were tasty. This is one that my friends' kids helped me decorate, so they had some fun, and I think they did a really good job. And then these were some self-portraits that I made of myself and my friends and laughed all night long. So I hope you like this idea. Let me know your feedback, and I would love if you would give this a thumbs up if you did like it, and share this video, and check out some of my other videos there on the right. I've got another video, and subscribe, and you can check out my vlog channel on the top left. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.